Okay, check it out. You say you don't have time to work with your dog. We all have busy schedules, and you got the kids to pick up, and you got to get to work, and you got to get home from work and do the laundry and dinner and practice, and in between all of that, have a little time for yourself. Maybe you go to the gym, so on and so forth. And you just don't have time to work with my dog, Tim. Wrong. First of all, you make time for what's important. So therefore, it's just not a priority that you work with your dog. That's okay. Other things can be a priority. Let's just accept that, it's just not a priority. Taking care of the kids and dinner and going to the gym and work all take priority. Understandable. Not judging for that. Definitely judging when you just say we don't have time. So I did this video because I am working one of my dogs for 10 minutes, running through the basics. My dogs are all off-leash reliable. They're great, blah, blah, blah. Of course, I'm a trainer. They should be. Why? In part because I'm always doing the basics with them. Here you see I'm walking, stopping, having him sit. This is Presley. He's doing excellent. He's come a long way from where he was when he was in rescue, so on and so forth in the shelter. Stopping, sitting. I'm doing some reps of stopping and sitting. I have an electronic collar on him, so even though he is really well trained on electronic collar, I'm still doing the basics. I'm tapping a button when I ask him to sit. I'm tapping when I turn and tell him let's go. So every time you see me turn and head the other way, I'm telling him let's go. So I'm running through these things, switching his drives, keeping him in pack drive for as close to the duration of 10 minutes as possible. He gets out a little bit there. He's looking up at the trees. That's a little prey drive. So I tell him, let's go. We stop and sit. He's back in pack drive. You're going to see me run through sending him to place. You see that place caught in the background. You're going to see me recalling him off a place. So I'm practicing recall, which is the most important thing to practice. So if it's just you working your dog, maybe your family isn't involved. Maybe your family's too busy, or it's not a priority to them to work with your dog. Work on place. Then you can walk away from the place caught, and then you can practice recall, and then you can practice sending him back to place. So here I'm still doing my stopping and sitting. Stopping and sitting. I'm doing these back and forths. Let's go. Right there. He tries to cut over a little bit onto my right. I just bring him back to the left. We're working on the basics. Do the basics. It takes 10 minutes. There is no way anybody can argue, Tim, I just don't have an extra 10 minutes in my day. Bullshit. So here I'm going to work on sending him to place now. So we're kind of through with our stop and sits, our back and forth, our let's goes, switching him into pack drive. So now I just have him on place. I'm going to walk away off camera. I'm out of his sight as well, kind of walking around. We have a horseshoe shaped driveway. I'm walking around the driveway out of sight. He just hangs out. So we're practicing place. We're practicing distractions. We're practicing distance. Not practicing a whole lot of duration on place, him being on there for a long time. But I could. But this is a 10-minute drill, just 10-minute exercise. I come back around, walk around. You're going to see me walk over towards the camera. I'm going to turn, and I'm going to recall him to me. So because we've practiced place, he knows place, I can practice now recalling him off a place. Recall, recall, recall. Practice recall. If your dog does not have a solid recall and you want a better recall, which you should want a better recall, work on it. If you're not sure how, not sure why, they won't come to you, well, give me a call. Email me, reach out. So I send him back to place. I'm going to walk away. We're going to do this for a few rounds. I hear so many excuses every single day. People with their dogs, why their dog won't do this. Oh, my dog won't eat this food. I don't have time. He won't do this. Why are you putting so many limits on your dog? Go ahead and put limits on yourself. a whole different story. I feel sorry for you a little bit. Why are you putting limits on your dog? You have to believe they can do. But first, you've got to guide them. You've got to know how. How do you learn how? Seek out a professional help. Somebody. Quite frankly, quit watching the YouTube videos and seek someone out. Not many people can just learn how to do these things from watching videos. There's a lot of dog trainers out there that just watch videos and then go try to help people with their dogs. So if you can't just learn by watching a video, call me. Call a professional. Ask your friends whose dogs were pretty well behaved. Hey, how did you do it? Who did you go to? Get help. Don't put limitations on your dog because, quite frankly, it's just another excuse, because you're making an excuse because you're not making time, or you don't know what to do, so you're just going to put it on your dog that they can't do something. That is also bullshit. So I walked out to the mailbox here, grabbed the mail, out of sight again, called him, rewarded him every time he recalls to me. I reward him, celebrate, praise, affection, and then send him back to place. Stop making excuses. Stop making excuses for yourself. Start listening to yourself when you're making excuses for your dog. When you're making excuses for yourself, too. You got to believe that you can and believe that your dog can. 10 minutes, not even every day. There's no way you can argue to yourself, to anybody, that you don't have 10 minutes a day to work with your dog. I guarantee you cuddle with your dog for 10 minutes a day. It's not what they need from you. Your dog does not need cuddles from you. Especially if you have a dog that has some behavioral issues, some separation anxiety, some confidence issues, some reactivity, some aggressive behaviors, some fearful behaviors. Especially if you have a dog like that, your dog most definitely does not need 10 minutes of cuddles from you. They need 10 minutes of you teaching them. They need 10 minutes of education. They need 10 minutes of you building them up by educating them, by teaching them, not 10 minutes of affection. You can't find 10 minutes a day to work with your dog. I got nothing for you. That's just, you should have got a cat. Quite frankly, if you can't find 10 minutes a day to do something with your dog, especially if you have a reactive dog at all, or a behavioral dog at all, which if you're watching these videos, most likely you are struggling with some kind of behavior issue. If you have that dog and you are not willing to spend 10 minutes a day, it's not that you can't, it's not that you don't have time, we've already covered that, but you're not willing to spend 10 minutes a day working with them, educating them, building them up, building their confidence, you should have got a cat. Find a different home for your dog. Or, better yet, step up and do different. Be better for your dog. Be stronger for your dog. Be more disciplined for your dog. And watch how you change as well. But you've got to lead that charge. So I'm just still here doing his recall, sending him back to place. Recall and back to place. We are at 9 minutes right now. I've run through all of the basics that any trainer out there is going to work with on you. My methods are a little bit different than most, I would say. I'm not using any treats. I never have used treats to train any of my dogs, or really any of my client dogs. So he's walking with me. Nice little pack drive, calm. I send him to place. Or no, now I'm going to do a little bit of kind of a little abbreviated box work, just turning into him instead of turning away, just turning into him. Getting him to make sure that he's following me, not out in front of me. We're at not 10 minutes right now, going on 10 minutes. I'm just about to wrap this up. I think I actually go about 11 minutes. So I'm sorry, my bad. Find 11 minutes. 11 minutes a day. Hell, most of you aren't even working with your dog 10, 11 minutes a week like this. But hey, you're giving them hours of affection. You're giving them hours of unstructured, unsupervised free time. And look at the outcome. It's a direct reflection on what you're doing with them. How they're behaving is a direct reflection of what you're doing or not doing with them. Find the time, make it a priority. 10 minutes a day, run through some basic drills, even just teach walking 5 steps, having them sit for 10 minutes. Do that for 10 minutes every day for a week and let me know what happens. Comment, let me know what happens. 5 steps, have them sit for 10 minutes every single day this week. And in the comments, let me know the results. Let me know what happened. Let me know how it worked. If it was terrible, if it made their behavior worse, let me know that too. Synergy Canine, reach out if you need help. Find the time, make the time.